Hey guys, Keith Style here, back at you with another Thrift With Me video. Today we're going to cover, I think, 5 or 6 thrift stores that I've been to over the last several months. I missed last week, so sorry about that for the actual, sourcing video. But here is this one. This is the same as in Nepal, I believe. I think I show 1 or 2 items here. I pass on this because it just wasn't there with the value of them asking $10 for it. Usually, in my area, LSU items are a little overpriced because people tend to value them more. There's the one item I do pick up, the Master's hat. That actually sold pretty fast. I'll talk about it in the summary about why Master stuff is pretty good, especially since I think the Masters is actually coming up right now. But that sold a while ago. But either way, that was still a good find. Anytime I find a hat that's Masters, I will pick it up, especially whenever it's around the Masters time. So if you see Master stuff right now, you should be picking it up. One of my first times I ever sold, tidbit, was a Masters jacket for like $50. I paid like $5 for it, it's over 50, and that was whenever I was doing clothing, though. Now I'm more hard goods and hats. I do sell some clothes, obviously. I've seen them from time to time. But continuing to look at Santa's Ball, that's LOL. I think, oh no, that's, what is there? I can't remember. With, whatever that lady's name was that recently passed away. Betty White, I think. Golden Girls, maybe that's what that was from. I think, oh no, I just had a brain fart. I think that's what it was from. But yeah, that's the overview of this store. Pick up one item at this store. Moving on to the next store, those are the 3 items I pick up. They are all Halloween themed items. This is right before Halloween, so that's how old this video is. I was trying to wait and see if they sold, but I don't even know if I actually got around to listing them. They haven't sold yet, I know that. Unfortunately, this thrift store used to have a bunch of toys and stuff in this section, but now they kind of switched it up to where they don't have the toys in here anymore. Now it's obviously Mardi Gras themed, and it's kind of Valentine's Day, and maybe also St. Patrick's Day, but at this time, Halloween's happening, so yeah, that's how long ago this video was, but I figured I might as well go ahead and use the footage. I had it, so I might as well use it, or turn sideways. Sometimes these little for real pups can be good. That one wasn't anything great based on what I saw. I think they were asking a little bit more than usual. Plush here is usually like somewhere from $1 to $3, but usually for ones like that, it's probably gonna be $5 to $10 because it makes noise, it makes sounds or whatever. This is the shoe section. I rarely pick up shoes at this store. I don't know why. I haven't been great on picking up shoes lately. I usually try and avoid them. But now going to the hats, I look in the hat section. I'm always looking for, some of those shark tooth pattern or collision pattern, something really old. I never find it. I've never found any good hats at this thrift store. That hat right there is still there today. This thrift store is probably 4 months ago. That hat is still in that bin. I just looked at it. I just went to that store 2 days ago, and that hat was still there. That's like a some kind of minor league baseball team. If you find minor league baseball, you should definitely be picking it up. Some of them can be very good. I've sold the Sand Gnats, which are now the Savannah Bananas, for like $70 or $80. I've sold New Orleans Zephyrs, Baby Cakes. Any team that's no longer in existence can bring some really good money. That was a Disney hat. I've never had much luck with Disney hats. Unless you can find a vintage one, but that one wasn't vintage, and it probably would only sell for like 10 or 15 bucks. I think hats are either 50 cents to $1 at this store, so not too bad there. There's a NASCAR hat, but NASCAR hats really aren't that great either unless you find the specific patterns that can be good. So I've been a little bit more selective on hats recently just because I have a lot of hats. I've been trying to end and relist some. So at this store, I pick up these guys right here. These cool guys. I'm not sure exactly what they are from. I think it's like Wolfman, maybe Swamp Thing, and then whatever this guy is, not Dracula, but some version of that. He does have some damage to his nose, or coloring on his nose. But yeah, these 3 little guys, I think these are listed. I'm not positive, but these are the brand Stuffins. They're not a great brand, so I wouldn't suggest picking this brand up if you see it, but certain ones can be worth money. These are probably worth $20 to $30 if I had to guess. I don't know. I can't remember if they're vintage or not. They're $19.99, yeah. So they are vintage plush. So cool little plushies here. Paid $1 each, and hopefully we'll get $20 to $30 for these 3 guys. So apparently this video is going to have a bunch of hats in it. There's Auburn Tigers hat. That one looked cool to me, and it also had the tags. So anytime I see a hat with tags, I'm going to be more interested in it, especially if it's a sports team. The ink also, 70 ink, paid $4 for each one, I think. They expired in 2020, but usually with ink, you can get away with selling them. Obviously if someone makes a return and says there's no ink or it's dried up, then you have to give them a refund. But I believe eBay does allow you to sell ink as long as you, explain that it's expired and, You don't, I don't think you have to say it might not work, but you have to just explain that it's expired. Ink doesn't really expire unless it's like been exposed to the elements or something like that. I think I still have that ink, but I think it's listed for $40 to $50, which is pretty good for HP ink. That's usually what the brand I pick up. I've picked up Epson before as well, but HP seems to sell pretty well. Now I've sold it on Amazon as well, but I can't spell expired ink on Amazon, unfortunately. So if that didn't have an expiration date, I probably could have sold it, or if it hadn't expired yet, I could have put that up on Amazon. It would have been sold within a day or two because Amazon just turns out listings. It's easier to adjust your pricing on Amazon because you just literally see the lowest price and you can just adjust it. Whereas on eBay, it's kind of hard to do that without actually going. I mean, you can do it. You can just look up sort lowest, but it's just way more cumbersome to me, at least, to try and figure out that on eBay. There's been a plush. I didn't pick up any plush on this day, I don't believe. I just picked up that one Auburn hat, unfortunately. But I did look in here for the plush, but they're not doing their like 5 for $2 or 4 for $2 anymore, so it's harder for me to pick up plush. I'm just still stuck on those prices that I used to get where I got really cheap prices and I was loving it, and they're not doing that anymore. So in this store, I pick up that Auburn hat and the ink. Anytime I can find ink, like I said in the voiceover, you should be picking it up, especially if it's cheap. Doesn't matter if it's expired or not, it can still sell. Now, there are inks that aren't worth money. There's certain brands, like, I don't know what brands aren't worth money, but I've had decent success selling Canon ink, Epson ink, and HP. Obviously, HP is the main one I've sold, and it sold pretty well. I actually went to a garage sale where I found a bunch of HP ink that was expired, and they basically gave it to me for free. And then within like a day or two, I had sold a decent amount of it and never got a return. And that's been, 4 months since then. So, yeah, I mean, usually ink that's expired still does sell. I mean, not sell, it still works. Now, if the buyer complains, like I said in the voiceover, the buyer complains that it doesn't work, and then you're pretty much forced to give a refund. But usually, to me, it's worth the risk. Let's go on to the next clip. And here's another hat. I think this is Durham Bulls, maybe. I'm not sure exactly on the location of the team, and then a Serta sheep from, like, I guess it's Trump Hotels or something. If you can find a bunch of these sheep and lot them up together, they will sell pretty well. That one's not really worth too much. I think I paid like $1 for it. I'm back at that same thrift store that I found those little Halloween guys at. But yeah, in general, the Serta sheep, if you can find like 5 or 6 of them, then they'll sell really well. But that just one by himself, he's still listed. I believe he hasn't sold yet. Neither has the other item. So unfortunately, those do take a while to sell sometimes. And hats are just hit or miss. This is around Halloween time as well. You can see or Halloween, Thanksgiving time, because all that stuff is there. It's all themed like that. This is a section that never seems to have much good stuff, and it's overpriced. They think it's worth a lot. These legends, most of those little figures like that aren't going to be worth very much money. They're little sports figures that are just, I think they were mass produced, and they're just not very good. As I continue looking around the store, I keep looking and seeing if I see anything. These are the display cabinets where they put the valuable stuff, in theory, or the knives. They don't let knives sit out. Knives are down there. This clip features another hat, Durham Bulls. I think Durham, North Carolina, is maybe where this is based out of. I'm not sure exactly, but it's orange and blue. It's not worth much, probably $15, if that. I think I paid $1 for it, so not too bad there. The Serta sheep, like I said in the voiceover, probably shouldn't have picked that thing up unless I saw a lot, unless someone gave their collection of them to the thrift store. So that one's probably not really worth picking up. Probably sell individually for 15 to 20, and it's going to sit for a while. But yeah, not terrible, but not exactly what I'm looking for when I go to the thrift store. This is Purple Cow in Baton Rouge. Find a really cool item that I almost gave as a gift, but decided to go ahead and sell. This Boston Terrier cast iron doorstop. Only paid $2 for it, and since my dad mainly loves Boston Terriers. He's always had Boston Terriers. My mom's grown to love them. She says they're so ugly, they're cute. And then that Tumbly Duck Jellycat, he's actually already sold for like $15 to $20, I think. I'll talk about that more in the summary of this clip. But yeah, 2 cool items there. I gave my dad a lot of stuff for Christmas. That was Boston Terrier themed. I bought it, I think, from Westside Gary way back in the day when I was on one of his auctions. But that one, I didn't think my parents really had a use for it. It had some nicks and scratches in it or whatever, and they don't need a doorstop per se, so that's why I decided to go in and sell it. Technically, it hasn't been listed yet. It's in my drafts, so it will be listed soon. I just have to go through and actually get around to listing it. But yeah, that's an overview of the Purple Cow. This one's the one I go to almost every day when I go to the post office. to drop off my packages, because usually I have at least 1 or 2 sales a day. Today, as I'm typing, or as I'm recording this, I think I only had like 5 sales a day, so nothing too great. So this Boston Terrier doorstop may be my favorite find of the video, of this video. That was a cool find. It's probably worth $60 at least, somewhere in that range, based on what I was looking up. There were some listed for cheaper than that, but there was one that looked exactly like mine that sold for like $70. So, and the ones that were listed and hadn't sold yet didn't look like mine. So hopefully mine's worth the $70. Like I said, it's going to be listed probably today or tomorrow. So hopefully it'll sell pretty quickly. Now this video is coming out the day I release it, so I won't be able to know if it's sold or not. And then the duck jellycat, he sold for, I think, somewhere around $20 maybe. He might have sold on Mercari. I can't remember for sure, but he's already sold. And yeah, not a bad find there either. Thanks for coming along for this video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like. Comment my favorite item that I found. Mine would be the Boston Terrier doorstop thingy. Hopefully it'll sell. And subscribe, not subscribe. Thanks for watching.